Hello, welcome everybody back to Slay the Gray Hobby Hangout, all that good stuff. This is Big Nerds Wargaming, and my name is Sam, where I do a weekly live stream where I paint miniatures every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And today I'm working on my Imperial Knight armatures. This is the last of 4 that I have. Painting them in the House Griffith scheme. If you want to see a full breakdown of the paint scheme, you can check out my latest YouTube video where I go through step by step how I paint these guys. Yeah, so I am continuing on. I have a whole army to paint. This is my last armature, and then I have 3 big knights I have to paint for that, and then I'll have a full neat 2,000 points of knights. So yeah, I'm just going to get started on this. So first step I'm going to be using is the airbrush. And gonna paint the carapace armor first, and then I'm gonna mask it off, and then I'm gonna paint the metallic parts after that. I'm hoping that this will go a little bit quicker now that I've got the general scheme down. And this one was already based and primed when I got it used, and they based it in black, and that's just fine, because that's what I would have primed it with as well. Even though the armor is going to be a light cream or beige color, the metal is going to be kind of a dark bronzish brown color. Alright, so I'm just going to start off with some air paint, leather brown in my airbrush. I don't want to spray like a bone color directly over the black. Start from brown and work my way up. I'm not too worried about overspray here because I'm going to be masking this off later. I'm going to start with a brown and then work my way up and lighten it. So earlier today I put out a poll for what to paint. Sometimes I do that if I have a couple projects going on at once. Knights and Necrons were tied, so I decided to continue with the Knights and just kind of carry on with that theme. But if you want to see me paint something else, be sure to keep an eye out for such polls when I do them, and you can give your input. So if you are all new to airbrush, Army Painter air paints are great for that. I'm a huge fan of them. They make it really easy to get started. Everything's pre-mixed to the right consistency, and you can just kind of put them in the airbrush and go. Alright, then I also have this chain sword here. Get that foundation color on there. I have it all ready to go. Alright. I think that's the only thing, because everything else is going to be metal colored for these weapons. Yeah, these are all magnetized, by the way, so I can pop them on here. Knights is one of those armies that you pretty much have to magnetize if you want to get the most bang for your buck. Luckily, this lot that I bought used is already magnetized, so I don't have to go through that pain. So I'm just cleaning out my airbrush with some water here. Quick rinse with some water is all you need in between fillers. Alright, now we're going to move up to the next color, which is Skeleton Bone Army Painter Airbrush Paint. I'm going to put that on top of that leather brown. And then lastly, I'm going to go over with Wraithbone. Then I'm going to mask it off, and then paint the metal parts. And hopefully this should all go pretty quickly, since I'm able to do a lot of it with the airbrush. Over time, kind of become more efficient as you paint. And that's my goal too, is to paint more, and paint fast, and paint with high quality. While also painting fast. Alright, so we got the skeleton bone in there. Alright, that's looking nice, so go ahead and get that on there, and you can see it goes on nice and clear over that brown base coat. If I did this over black, it would come out looking a little bit more gray. So having that brown base coat really helps the color come out nice and clean. It preserves the warmth from the color. Going really quick. I'm happy with this. So my other armatures, I did this by hand with a brush, and that took like 5 or 6 coats. It was kind of painful. Oh, we got a little bit of sputtering here. I'm not too worried about being super neat here. I'm going to mask this off and spray paint all the skeletal parts of the armor here with metallics. But I think masking off the armor panels is going to be easier than masking off the underside. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so that color is all done. Now we just got to do Wraithbone on top of that. Just rinse out my brush real quick. Alright. Now the next color is going to be Wraithbone, and I don't have a air paint for that, so I'm going to have to mix it myself. So, just use Wraithbone, and then I use an airbrush thinner. I just use this stuff from Vallejo. That works pretty well. And it's pretty straightforward to mix. So I give the paint a good shake. I grab a junky brush like this, and do a couple drops of thinner. And a brush load or two of paint. And kind of stir it in the pot here. Some people are pretty adamant about not mixing in the reservoir of the airbrush, but I think if you put the thinner in there first, then it usually works out pretty well. And this consistency actually is looking pretty good, so let's give this a test spray and see. It's a little runny. I'm going to add just a little bit more Wraithbone to that. One more brush load. I'm going to mix that in there real good. Mixing your own air paints takes a little bit of practice, but every paint works a little bit differently, but so just got to play around with it so you get the right consistency. Alright, so we got a few of us in chat or joining us, so welcome everybody. Continuing on the night train. Alright, this Wraithbone is coming out very light and runny, so I'm just going to be very gentle on the trigger here. This is where I could get a little fancy and just kind of target the mid-sections of the panels. Instead of going for a uniform color. But I'm just going to go ahead and give it a nice solid base coat all around here. Because I'm going to go over this with Seraphim Sepia to kind of give it some depth and shading anyways. So I'm not really looking for that airbrushy effect. I just want a nice smooth coat. Alright, this is way easier than doing this by hand with a brush. Especially a light color like this. Alright, let's get some more music going here. Okay, so I got the Wraithbone applied all around here, so I'm going to let that sit and dry while I clean out my airbrush. Then we'll move on to the next phase. Alright, and then to clean out the brush better, I have some isopropyl alcohol that I put in the reservoir there. And you just plug the end with your finger, create some bubbles. That kind of cleans out the needle area. And then I just kind of spray the rest out in my cleaner pot here. And then this excess water, I just put in a container and dump it out in the sink. Alright, now the Wraithbone is all done. Next we're going to move on to the metallics, but before I do that I have to mask this off. I'm going to dump out my water real quick. And we will get to masking. And for that, I'm going to be using this AK Camouflage Airbrush Putty. This stuff works really well. It's kind of weird to work with. Feels weird at least. Like silly putty, almost. What I want to do with this is just put this over anywhere where I did the Wraithbone, so that everything stays protected while I do the rest of the metallics. Stuff also works great if you're doing like a camouflage pattern on a tank. I don't want it to go on too thick. So I'll need to be able to paint like these exhaust stacks here, for example. I'm not too worried about the trim around the armor, because I'm gonna paint that with a brush later. I just want to protect that nice Wraithbone carapace color. And this stuff is very gentle on paint. Does not peel. Well, I've never had it peel yet. This is a little tedious, but worth the effort. And I think masking off the carapace is going to be easier than masking off the skeleton. So, trying it reverse order this time. Normally I paint the metal or the skeleton, you know, of the armature first, and then I'd paint the armor panels, but I'm doing it the other way around because I think this might actually be a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient. So we'll find out the truth to that question. Alright, chat, what are we working on tonight? What's on your hobby desk? What are you painting? What are you building? Let me know. Always curious to know what you're working on. Farsight, nice. Some Tau. I've never painted any Tau. I've always wanted to. They look fun. Do you have a color scheme for your Tau? I always like the way the like the red looks. Red Tau or Enclaves just going red. Nice. I like it. The Gundam Army. With white helmets. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really sharp. Nice. Well, thanks for sharing that, Burke. Okay, masking off this cod piece might be a little tricky here. I like your bat rips. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Uh, they take a little bit of time to put together. So I'm glad you're enjoying them. They are fun to make though too. You see my latest painting video. It's gonna be a spoiler alert for this live stream here. Painting some more armigers and House Griffith. But they're not gonna paint themselves, right? I love to feature these knights on a future battle report sometime, so I gotta get them painted. Table ready. So have you been watching the Crusade battle reports? Or just kind of like the match play ones? Or the kill team ones? I haven't done many kill team ones, but I want to do more of those. Those are fun. Kill team is a great game. Looks nice. Gonna be cool to see in game. I see the Crusade game starting up League with some mates too. Gotta go, Dart. Saw you. Nice. Alright, well thanks for stopping in, Burke. Happy crusading. Alright, so I gotta make sure that the parts I'm gonna paint is not part of the mask. It's a little tricky. I'm just using this Citadel kind of terrain paint scraper tool thing. And it seems to be working pretty well for shaping this putty. I'm gonna get the approximate shape here. Alright, how's the stream looking for everyone on the viewing side? Things coming through clearly enough for you? Getting a message saying that it might be a little unstable. Just making sure it's not a false alarm. I believe things are looking okay. Alright, let's adjust some things on the stream. Are we still live? Did I just break it? Is the stream coming through okay? For you viewers? Someone can let me know, that'd be great. Just adjusted some settings here. Well, if not, I guess I'll just be painting by myself. Are you alive? Yes, I'm alive. Are you alive? Is the stream coming through okay? I think your chat is out. I see chat coming in over here. You're very lagged in chat. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I wonder if there's a YouTube issue or something. I haven't checked the internet speeds, but internet's been pretty good lately. Well, YouTube is telling me we got excellent stream quality now, so hopefully things will clear up. We can get back into business. Sent at 7:35. Okay, it's back up. Yeah, it looks like things have stabilized. I changed my output bitrate to a lower bitrate, one that YouTube is more friendly with. So hopefully that just stabilizes everything and we are good to go going forward. Yeah, it's pretty good latency so far. Now that things look to be good. Yeah, because that 7:35 message was pretty much instantaneous for me. Maybe a few seconds delayed. Alright. Now that I got the armor masked off, I can start with the metallics. Oh, I got some on the chainsword here. Just gotta cover this whole thing here. Leroy Jenkins! Welcome, Dick Champion. It's a very choice name you have there. I'm gonna call you Richard. Alright, now we're gonna go on to metallics. Starting off with night scales. Give everything a healthy base coat of that. Alright, so have to be careful not to break free the putty that I used to mask. Basically, everything gets night scale. Got all of the underside here. Alright, this is looking pretty good. Put it on the head. I don't want any of that black primer showing. Alright, we got some gray plastic here. Just turn these arms the other way. Make sure we got everything painted, base coated. Alright, so that is it for the night scales on that, and I just gotta hit up all these weapons real quick. Alright, so we're just going to go over all these weapons with this night scales and get a nice base coat on there. Need a little bit more night scales here. A couple drops how to do it. Not gonna worry about the gun barrels because I'll paint those a different color later. All right, now probably can just go and touch that up. There, much better. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the next color, which is Rough Iron Air Paint by Army Painter. start to build up those brassy bronze tones. Rough iron is the color. Oops. Hit the camera, my bad. Alright, so once again, gotta clean out the airbrush from changing colors. A little bit of water. A little bit of back spray. A little bit more water. Get some of those big pink clumps out of there with the paper towel. Alright, good enough. You don't have to clean it too good if you are switching to a new color. Unless the color is drastically different and you don't want it to mix at all. But this isn't that big of a deal because we are mixing metallics a little bit and blending them together, so a little bit of night scales isn't going to ruin my rough iron coloring. I'm going to put that in the airbrush next and move on to that color. This is a fun one. It's kind of like a dark reddish brown metallic. Nice warm brown. Alright, so here I'm going to be spraying it from a horizontal and vertical angle only, and not a down to up angle. So I want that night scales to kind of show through some of the kind of darker areas. And just gonna straighten these arms out on the armature. Got a little stuck. There we go. Just straighten those out and go right back to airbrushing. Alright, chat, let me know. Have any of you played the new Pariah Nexus match play yet? I ordered the cards, they haven't arrived yet. I think I should be getting them tomorrow. I'm curious on all the new changes. See how they play out. I also ordered the Gene Stealer Cult Codex. I have not gotten that yet either. The same shipment. I'm really curious to see what the new detachments are. I've kind of been staying away from any leaks. Figured I'd just read it when I get it. Alright, we got the rough iron down. Now to quickly do the weapons. Alright, and this will be almost done with the airbrush. Okay, last color for the airbrush is going to be Evil Chrome. This is like a light brassy copper color, and just going to use that to kind of lighten up some spots. Lighten up that rough iron. Make it pop a little bit. So just going to clean up my airbrush real quick. So yeah, let me know, what are you guys working on? Have you played a new Match Play Pariah Nexus mission? Do you care about Pariah Nexus? Alright, now, I'm gonna move on to Evil Chrome. Give this a good shake in my mixer here. Alright, this is a little watery, so gotta be a little careful here. I'm just gonna be doing a top-down angle with this, kind of further back. Very carefully pull back. Being real subtle here. There's the music. Alright, top down only. Just a real quick, subtle spritz. That's all I'm going for. Alright, that is it for the airbrush. Time to move on to the actual brush. The paintbrush. I'm gonna clean this out here. Plug the end, do a little back pressure, dump it out. Just like that. And then lastly, clean it out, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Same deal, a little bit of back pressure. Pour a little bit out. And then the rest I'll just run through my cleaner holder. So that is nice and empty. Alright. And we are done with the airbrush. Let's see how I did. I'm gonna dump this out real quick. All right. Put this away. The moment of unmasking. Whoops. Keep hitting the camera. Alright. Oh, how about that? So far, so good. Yes, it is doing its job. Oh, this is great. Look at that. Kind of did an imprint of the armor. And there we go. Ready for some brush on details next. Oh, I got the cod piece. There we go. Alright, I see a couple spots down in the center here where the masking was blocking some of the air paint. But that's okay. I'm going to just touch that up by hand. And I think we'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to put this masking putty aside and clear off this cardboard sheet that I used to catch the the overspray. I was going to say spray over, but that didn't sound right. Alright. Now we are ready for some proper painting. Just get my palette out and let's get rolling. Okay, so I've been using Pro Acryl metallic paints for most of these nights, and I like the way they look. They're working out real nice. So I'm going to actually start by doing some touch-up work and then move on to some washes and other things like that. So I'm going to start with a little bit of rough iron air paint and just do some touch-ups where I wasn't able to get the airbrush because of the masking putty, or I just happened to miss it. So just a little bit of that on my palette. Just going to grab a kind of normal size brush. And we're just going to get you can see right in here where the airbrush kind of didn't do a very good job. I think that was because of the masking putty. I'm just going to get in there with some rough iron. Just brush that on. And up in here. There's just a little bit kind of the underside here. That's actually okay because I think I got mostly night scales there. So, all right. So not actually a whole lot to touch up, so that's good. I'm thinking next I am going to. Yeah, we're gonna do dark silver. Pro acryl, dark silver. Gotta give this a good shake. Throw it on my mixer for a little bit here. These pro acryl paints are pretty nice. I like them. They work very well. They have a good thin consistency. They have great coverage. All in all, I am a fan. Alright, I must not forget my weapons. I need to also paint. Kind of a pain when you magnetize stuff is you have a lot more stuff to paint. Alright, so we got these little metal pieces here. I like to paint dark silver just to kind of break up the brown bronze metallics. Make it a little bit more interesting to look at. So that's why I incorporate kind of some silver metallics as well, just to add a little bit of variation. Just kind of pick out some details like these thicker pipes. Maybe a little bit on the head here. I'm generally following a pattern, but not too closely. A little loose. If it feels appropriate to paint it a different color, I'll go ahead and do that. Just kind of, yeah, break out the components that are making up this big machine here. It's all about creating some visual interest. Having everything not be the same. Just picking out a couple things here and there goes a long way. Like this little nub here. If I just go ahead and paint that silver, already it looks a little bit more interesting. Little junction box here. I go ahead and do that on either side for consistency. Like this back plate here. Gonna paint that silver. Got some pipes back here. I'll paint those silver. It's very subtle. It's already, you know, I think it's doing a lot for it. We'll get these here on the legs. These are just such cool models. I like them. The knights. I have no idea if I'll have fun playing with them, though. I've never played with knights. Well, I played against them. They seem like they could be kind of fun. But also kind of limiting, because they only have so many models. I know that can be kind of a challenge for table control and whatnot. They are pretty tough models, too. Washing my brush pretty regularly. The metallics can dry and gum up the bristles, which is no good. Don't want that happening. We need to change this music up. Well, you know, this is royalty free. Not looking forward to playing your knights. Don't worry about it. I'm not too good, remember? I think you'll do just fine. I've only played against Chaos Knights. Also, welcome Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Andrews or Collins? Just Collins. Only played against his knights. I played a Crusade game like a long time ago against some Chaos Knights. Back when I had the Gene Stealer cult. And I learned how good the Reductus Saboteur is, that game. Yeah, she was able to do some work. Alright, the gloves are coming off. Did you get your Pariah Nexus cards? Because I didn't. I pre-ordered them, and they haven't arrived yet. Cards and the objective mats as well. Oh. So your fancy battle mats with the deployment zones completely out of date now? Because that'd be unfortunate if they were. Those are pretty cool. Or is it just a couple new deployment zones that don't fit? One zone is lost and they added 2 new ones. Nice. I can't wait to see. I haven't been really following it too closely at all. I did dark silver on the barrels, and I think I did dark silver on the ammo containers. Or 6 zones in the Nexus. We compared them on Monday. Cool, well hopefully that'll freshen things up. And make match play a little bit more interesting. I hope the secret objectives are a little bit more worthwhile. I know the gambits seem kind of like an interesting idea, but not really practical. I want to see troops have more importance on the battlefield. Or battle line units, whatever they're called now. You try any Fanatic Paints by Army Painter? Why, yes I have. Their effects are really good. Radiation Glow. I'll actually use them on my knights for some of like the engine glow effect. I've been using Leather Brown. I want to get more of them, but I have a lot of other paints I use for a lot of those colors, but yeah, they seem like really good paints. I'm a fan. Big time. In fact, if I was on the market for new paints, I might even consider trying to snag the complete set online. I know it's like a limited run, but there's still a few places that are selling it. If you're gonna use all those colors, it's a pretty good deal. And they seem like pretty solid paints. Huge improvement over the war paint line. That's for sure. I'm starting to branch out with my paint brands a little bit. Trying out some new things. These Pro ones are nice, except for I don't like the dropper bottles. They're messy. Army Painter seems to have the best dropper bottle. And even those aren't perfect. But you seem to waste the less amount of paint with the army painter ones. Alright, I'm just gonna paint the guns I know I need for this guy right away. I'll come back around to these other ones later. It's all magnetized, I can equip them with different loadouts, but for the models I have a 2K list in mind. Excuse me, so I have a very specific loadout, so I don't really care about the magnetization so much at this point anyways. But I'm sure at some point I'll get some more knights, and it'll be nice to have the options to do different loadouts. Can only paint so many of the same gun without losing my mind here. So I'm going to paint these two right here, and we'll just ignore all these over here for a while. And I'll get back to them at some point. Paint the rest of this stubber. All right. Yeah, so if any of you saw my most recent video, this is like the slow-mo version of that one. I'll paint something else next week, I promise. We'll put the knights, give them a break, or I'll just paint those off camera. Maybe I'll do some Gene Stealer Cult next week. In honor of the new codex that came out. That could be fun. I got lots of Gene Stealer Cult that needs to get painted. Maybe a Necron character. I got some Necrons that need to be painted too. I just got a lot that needs to be painted. You get the Gene Stealer Cult Codex? Why, yes I did. Well, it's ordered. I ordered that and the cards. The Nexus cards. And I ordered them through Games Workshop, and I did not get them yet. They are shipping and should arrive, I think, tomorrow. Kind of pathetic. I pre-ordered them the day they went up on pre-order on their website, and they did not ship on time. But yes, I did get it, and it should be coming tomorrow, so looking forward to that. It'll be good. I'm really curious what the new detachments are and all the cool new shenanigans they can do. They're just a goofy, fun army. I like them. Hate how slow GW is on shipping. Yes. I've had a few times where they showed up right on time, and I was surprised, but yeah, for the most part, it's kind of later. Later or never. In some cases. Alright. So this guy's got the dual dual guns. I forgot what these are called. Heavy stubbers? No. Autocannons? Autocannons. They're autocannons. You know, 40k weapon names. The Heavy Flamer. Alright. Next is going to be Nuln Oil. Nuln Oil is the next color in the process. Nuln Oil, the fixer of mistakes. Alright, this is going in these dark pockets here, and anywhere where there is the silver. Just gotta darken this all up here. Oops. Never leave a metallic unwashed. Yeah, I would like to get some new music on my stream though. This stuff, I am getting a little sick of it myself. Sometimes I stream without the headphones, so I don't have to listen to it. But it's better than listening to my furnace go in the background, so. Oil up this machine gun real good. Oil up these gun barrels. Ammo drums. Alright, next color, to break up the metallics a little bit more, is Basilicanum Gray. Basilicanum Gray. There you are. Contrast paint, a Citadel. This works very well for metallics. Just shaking it up here on my mixer. This one likes to separate, so you gotta make sure it's mixed up really well. All right. Once again, organized chaos on where we apply this. Starting off with these smokestacks. Basilicanum gray is a great color to put over any metallic to make it really like dirty and sooty and grimy looking. It's like Nuln Oil, but it takes it a step further. Kind of gives it a little bit of a grayish dark haze. So for particularly gritty metal surfaces, I like to use that over Nuln Oil. And once again, the goal with this is to just break up some of those brassy brown metallics that you see everywhere on this model. Add a little bit of variation and visual interest. Just like what we did with the silver, now we're doing this with Basilicanum gray in other areas. So we get kind of like a three-tone metallic scheme going on, blending in with those airbrush colors that we did at the start. It all comes together for the final effect. Try to get down in here. The legs connect. Get some of these like pistons and servo joints. Maybe in between these little crevices here on the sides of the shin or the thigh. Get that a good darkening up with this Basilicanum gray. Just going for some visual interest and to break things up a little bit. Like these pistons here on the legs. We'll do in Basilicanum gray as well. Battletech 40K. And we'll just get this engine block back here with the Basilicanum grays. Darken that up real nice. Alright, looking good. And for these guns, oh, no, the oil's not quite dry. I touched it. Rookie mistake. Alright, so for the guns, I'm gonna just do this back piece here. Basilicanum gray. Add a little bit of visual interest there, and then also I'll just do like the side panel here. That looks good. I'll just attach it on there to dry. And we'll do the same for this other one. Just gonna get this side panel here with the Basilicon Gray. Boom, boom. Alright. Now, we're going to let this dry a little bit. And while that is drying, I'm wondering... So I want to do a little bit of edge highlighting. I'm going to use that with Light Bronze by Army Painter. Oh, you know what? I see some spots that I missed. I forgot some servo joints here with the Basilicon Gray. Just want to quickly get those. Can't have that. Laying it on pretty thick there. There's a grab bar back here I did not get with the dark silver I missed earlier. I'll just quickly paint that dark silver. There we go. And then these hoses and cables, I like to just paint those black Templar. So, go ahead and do that real quick. I can do that while this paint is drying. Everywhere else. Black Templar likes to separate too a little bit with the contrast paint, so I've given this a good shake on my vortex mixer here. Nice, good mix. Alright, Black Templar is going to go on all the hoses and cables that are coming out. Just like these ones on the gun here. And we got some hoses on the body itself. Got these hoses here on the leg. I like Black Templar. It's a little bit more interesting than just Abaddon Black, depending on where you paint it over. You know, like a really light color, you'll get a little bit of natural highlighting. Over a metallic, you get a little bit of metallic sheen through it, but not too much. It's just got a good coverage. I like the viscosity of it when it flows off the brush. It's a little inky. Has some good surface tension, so it's not too runny. Yeah, it's just all around pretty good paint for contrast paints. Alright, so we're gonna let that go ahead and dry. And then we'll move on to some edge highlights on the metallics. And for that, I'm going to be doing light bronze. No, I'm going to be doing regular bronze. Light bronze is very light. Just regular bronze here. So House Grithof's colors are this dark bronze, and then the trim, they do like a silver, or like a light bronze kind of color. Almost like a white gold almost. But they also do some silvers, and they also do some golds. So I'm thinking I might do this one in maybe a silver, or maybe I'll do a gold color, like a bright gold, maybe. I could be going back and forth between what I want to do. Alright, I'm going to use the hairdryer and just accelerate this drying job. Alright. Edge highlight time. Just gonna do those in regular bronze. And let me find an appropriate sized brush. I will try the Reaper Mini brush. This is a good one. Alright, this one's a little tedious, but worth the effort, as I say. Gonna do some edge highlights here. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Make it a little bit more exciting. Just carefully grab the edge of these beams here. Edge highlighting metallics is kind of strange because you don't really see them from every angle until the light catches it, really. And then it really stands out. So I'm just trying to do the most important spots with this. The ones that are actually able to be seen. So that's like this steel frame here, or the metal frame here on the cockpit. Make sure that's nicely highlighted. The most hard edges mostly. That's what I focus on. Get around this ball joint here. These little hooks here on the side. Anywhere like this where there's a nice hard edge, Great spot for a little highlight. Just bring out those details more and more. It's already looking so much better, more alive. Let's do the other side real quick, then I'll move further down the body. So I'm not using a super small brush either. This is a size 0 brush from Reaper Miniatures. These brushes are pretty nice. They're fairly cheap, not super expensive, and the quality is pretty decent too. I've been very impressed with these Reaper Mini brush. They seem like a nice alternative to Army Painter or Games Workshop as far as good miniature brush goes. Just for the fact that they're so much more, a little bit cheaper, a few bucks cheaper than them, and yeah, these brushes have been great. They've been holding a tip really nicely. They haven't been hooking on me. No, the hook end brush gets really annoying when that happens. These ones have been working out really nice for me, so if you're in the market for brushes, I would maybe check out Reaper Minis. Reaper Miniatures, I think they're called. I think they're a pretty small company. They make good brushes. Get in here with some edge highlights. Once again, just mainly focusing on those really hard edges that are angled up mostly. That's where the light would be hitting, and ones that you can actually see when you're looking at the model on the table. I don't want to over highlight everything because a lot of stuff you won't actually see when it's on the table. So now if I was doing like a display piece, I would highlight everything, but I'm kind of going for more of a gaming tabletop standard here. Maybe a little bit better. Somewhere using Games Workshop terminology, there's like the battle ready and parade ready. Somewhere between battle and parade is usually what I end up painting most of my stuff to. So on the feet, I just like to highlight all these edges here on the feet. Feet nice and shiny. All right, 1 foot down, 1 more to go. After this foot, I'm going to just do some edge highlights on the weapons, and then we'll be done with the edge highlighting. All the edge highlighting. Alright, now on the weapons, actually not a whole lot here. Maybe like this here. Some of these harder lines on the guns. Yeah, just going real subtle here. These hard lines on this autocannon. There. I think that's good. All right. So, got most of the airbrushing, actually all the airbrushing done. Got the metallics done. I do need to go back over this dark silver with an Ironbreaker dry brush. Just kind of lighten it up a little bit. But then I got to do the trim next, and then some of the decoration colors of the heraldry. Figure out what I want to do, like some stripes and things like that. But got a huge start on this knight armature tonight. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. If you watched this live, thanks for hanging out, popping in, saying hi, all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, I do this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be painting something different next week. I think we'll give the knights a break. Been painting a lot of knights lately, so... Hey, what's going on? Almost missed a stream. Well, hey Travis, how's it going? I was actually just starting to wrap things up here for the night. But yeah, just painting some more knights. So, yeah, I was just saying... hello, goodbye. Yeah. Next week, I'll be painting something different other than knights, because I think maybe we're getting sick of knights, and, you know, if you want to see how I did this, just check out the latest video, because all the whole scheme breakdown is right there, in a nice 12-minute format, instead of 2+ hours, so. But yeah, I'll be painting something different next week, maybe some Gene Stealer cults, for the new codex, so, haven't quite figured it out, maybe some Necrons. I'll put a poll out again, we'll see. But yeah, anyways, thanks for stopping by. Anyone who stopped by and said hi and all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. And thanks for joining us. Bye.